Hello and welcome back to Not a Watch Snob. I am your host Bill, and I'm gonna make a quick video about why I think automatic watches are king, hands down. Oh God! Now I know there's a lot of Quartz crazies, but I just want to say that automatic watches are king. Today we're going to be diving into the history of them. We're going to be diving into why I personally think they're the best, and the symbiosis between a man and his watch. You're not going to want to miss this one. I'm walking around Waltham. I'm currently in homeless heaven, the middle of the park, and I hope I don't get jumped. So let's keep going. Here we are at the historic Waltham Watch Factory, and I figured there's no better place to talk about the history of automatic watches than at such a historic location, known for creating the very first waterproof watch. So I figured I'd dive in and deep dive into the history of automatic watches here at this historic landmark. Let's get into it. The earliest record of automatic watches actually comes from Le Loquet in 1778, when a man named Abraham Louis Breguet, also famous for the Breguet watches, created the very first automatic pocket watch, depending on how you look at it. And basically, that was the very first self-winding watch ever to be created. With the advent of the wristwatch after World War I, many companies started to play with this idea that automatic watches were the way of the future, due to the fact that you didn't need to wind them. They were constantly self-wind as you wore them. It was all a matter of weights, balances, and gears to create this movement that was meant for the future. In 1923, a man named John Harwood created a movement that used the wearer's motion to actually power the watch. The problems with this watch was that the rotor only went about 180 degrees and had to bounce itself back. This was actually known as a bumper. Then in 1930, Rolex created the Oyster Perpetual, which actually spun that winder 360 degrees, creating for a more smooth and fluid motion, which was able to twist and wind that mainspring to create more of an accurate movement. Now, let's dive into why I think they're the best. Here's the reason why I think automatic watches are king. I'm so sick of quartz watches. I think that automatic watches are the way to go if you're ever going to get into watch collecting, because of about 3 different reasons. Let's dive into why. Reason number 1, there's a symbiosis between a man and his watch. The fact that you have to power the watch by wearing it is very special and unique to me. I mean, there's not many things in this world that are powered by you as a wearer. So I think that there's almost a symbiosis between you and the watch, that if you put it down, it stops working. You have to be alive for the watch to be alive. And I think that's really cool compared to some battery or some machine creating energy. If you create energy and the watch is energetic, then it's just an overall great experience for both you and the watch. That's the first reason why I think automatic watches are 10 times better than quartz watches, because of the symbiosis. The second reason why I think automatic watches are better than quartz watches is because you don't have to wind them. You just put it on and go. Of course you gotta set it when you put it down, but those are things that I find very personal with you and your watch. I think that those are the moments that you really are going to miss when you're just wearing a quartz watch and just put it on and leave. Having to actually set the date, set the time, and make it perfect for you, I think is a part of owning a watch that makes it really fun and makes collecting an enjoyment. And the fact that you have this interpersonal connection between you and your watches. The last reason why I think automatic watches are king is because, well, picture this. You saved up your money all year, you really want to get yourself a nice watch, and you decide to get a Tag Heuer. You spend about $2,000 to $1,500 on this watch, and you open up the case back, expecting to see this gorgeous looking movement, and suddenly you see plastic. I'd be pissed. I don't know about you, but I would be livid. So I think, truthfully, quartz watches are just so soulless, and there's no intricacy. They're just this soulless, plastic, man-made, well, I guess the automatic movement's technically man-made, but they're these soulless, plastic, techie-looking, boring movements. And I just think that automatic watches are just so intricate and delicate looking that they just look so much more luxurious. Not to mention the fact that the fact that someone came up with the idea that gears and centrifugal force would create movement from your wrist is just an ingenious invention. Whereas a battery, I mean, come on, your phone's powered by a battery. Do you find your phone to be collectible? I don't think so. Another reason why I don't like quartz watches is because I find them to be soulless. They're just little pieces of technology. And to me, technology is what's ruining this world. So why would you want that on your wrist? I mean, you might as well just buy an Apple Watch at that point. I don't find quartz watches to be anything special. They're boring to look at. They really hold no value, in my opinion. Why do you think all the luxury brands have automatic watches? Because automatic watches are so intricate, they're so beautiful and so masterly crafted that they're just more fun to have on your wrist, especially if it has an open case back. That's what got me into watches, the fact that you can actually flip over this watch and check out the intricacy and check out the gears and the rotor as it twists and moves around your wrist. There's just something special about that. Whereas quartz watches, nobody has an open case back of a quartz watch. Who the hell wants to see that? They're plastic, cheap, finicky, and just not really that good looking. No, I get it. They also have metal ones. If you open up an Omega, you get to see the metal ones, but I really don't give a crap. It doesn't look as nice as a rotor and gears and jewels that you get to see with your own eyes as you watch that mainspring pulsate back and forth. It's just an overall better looking watch. Now I get it. Quartz watches are cheaper, easier to maintain, and a lot less expensive to fix. But at the end of the day, do you really care about that, or are you a watch collector? Do you care more about the intricacy of an automatic movement, or would you rather have a watch that just goes? I mean, there's nothing special about that, in my opinion. I know that they're more accurate, I know that they're easier to maintain, all you need is a battery to replace it, but at the end of the day, I don't really care. I'd much rather have something that is more meaningful in a moment between me and my watch, winding it and setting it and making sure it's ready to go, than just a watch I just throw on. Does that make you a collector, or does that make you more of just a watch enthusiast? I would much rather be a watch enthusiast, I think. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a really fun experience for me. As you can tell, I'm still walking around the city a little bit. I'd like to thank all my subscribers. I'd like to thank my channel members. We got Logan, Holden, Synthetic Evil, and Jimmy Noises. If you'd like to be a channel member, go ahead and hit that join button right in front of my channel. I don't know if you can hear me. It's really windy right now. But again, thank you so much for watching. If you want to find some really cool freaking buses. If you want to find some really cool automatic watches, go ahead and check out notawatchsnob.com for some of the lowest prices around on Swiss-made automatic watches. I can guarantee it. And thank you so much for watching. Remember, my name is Bill. I'm not a watch snob, and neither are you. Thank you so much. Enjoy.